Right, this is take two. My phone is shit. That's not the title, that's just a fact. Right, Wolf Bitches, welcome to Muttley's musical Musings episode. I'm going to be shit-faced by the time I finish it if I have to do more than one take. Because I'm having a few drinks because it's New Year's. Happy New Year. That's kind of giving away the title. So Muttley's musical Musings, episode 12. Happy New Year. It's also the season finale. I said Happy New Year as a question because we just don't know what the fuck 2020 was, do we, folks? That's a good point. Yeah. So I'm having my usual hobgoblin to celebrate. It's dribbling down my beard. And yeah, it's been a shit year for music. And artists in general. I know the wrestling boys have struggled not being able to put on shows. And for them to, obviously they can't find shows if there aren't shows to put on, but I know it's the same for it's bands I'm talking about. It's been a shit year. Absolute bollocks. Just think I managed 4 gigs before everything got locked down here in the UK. So I got to see Farron and Ashen Reach, fantastic band. They managed to release an album during all of this lockdown. They were fundraising for it throughout the year. It came out in November, so check them out. I went and saw Girl School. There was a couple of amazing bands open for them, so that was cool. And then I went and saw Bloodstock, their Metal to the Masses, which is kind of like a Battle of the Bands thing. Saw that. And I also saw a Groaner and a few other screamo bands, black metal bands. And that was in Not Fuel, because the other two were there, and Farron was in Crumlin at the Patriot. Club I for Bark was where I saw a Groaner, so that was pretty cool. Rocking in my wheelchair on the stage. I threw my leg on the stage at Fuel. I'm going to get banned from venues soon, I think, for being a reckless cripple and harassing the normies. So yeah, anyway, music. There's been a lot of down stuff. Obviously, people can't do anything in terms of gigs. But like I said, these bands have been releasing stuff, so that's been fantastic. Twisted Illusion have released some stuff as well throughout the year. Buckethead, he's managed to release his 300th album. I'm looking forward to actually buying his whole collection because it's there on Bandcamp. Or more on Bandcamp as we go along. But yeah, this whole blog was started because I want to talk about music, which is probably boring to a lot of people, but being an autistic music nerd, I love facts and figures and statistics and all that shit. So short version is I need to own, give or take, 11,680 albums. The reason why is I sat there and did the maths. If the average album is 45 minutes, if I push play as the clock hits midnight on New Year's Eve and start it on the 1st of January, press play, I want my music collection to eventually be enough to last uninterrupted, non-stop, without the song repeating. It'll finish on midnight, Christmas. No, it won't Christmas because we've got a few extra days. New Year's Eve. So 365 days worth of music. Like I said, 45 minutes is the average album, so that's 11,680 when you do the maths. It does check out, but I'm not doing it now because I'm drinking, and maths and alcohol are not good friends. But no, this year I've actually done quite well. I worked it out on average. If I'm going to retire at 70, if the Tories have their way, that will be it, unless I drop dead before then. But I've got an algorithm to solve that dropping dead thing, which I'll talk about in a second. I've bought 397 hours worth of music because halfway through the year I started buying stuff, and there were EPs, there were singles, obviously stuff that wasn't a full-length album. Some were like double albums. So I was kind of like, you know what, let's switch to hours halfway through the year because that makes sense. So yeah, 397. So I've done an average. The average amount of albums I've bought this year is 529. And I think I cut myself off. I need to buy an album a day between now, when I'm 40, and retirement at 70, or just over an album a day to hit the 11,680. But yeah, as I was talking, if I drop dead before I'm 70, I haven't failed as long as I've reached the algorithm It's kind of like the Duckworth-Lewis method of life for me. So I've mathematically worked out and got a curve, which I don't have my hands to. So as long as I've bought, on average, more than an album a day on the day I die, between now and whenever I die or retire, my life has been a fantastic success, because that's all I want to do with my life, is drink beer and listen to rock and roll. So yes, I've told you how many albums I bought roughly, and that we started off the year amazing. Like, I think I bought like 90 albums one month, 80 odd another month, and then kind of halfway through the year it went tits up, and then I kind of like gradually picked up again. But because I was well and truly ahead of schedule at the start of the year, I'd kind of done well. Like this month I got 10 bands added to it this month, so that was 15 hours worth of music. November was 29 hours. That's kind of when I switched to hours, because it was just easier, because I bought a lot of stuff on Bandcamp and it was hard to tell whether that was an album or whether that was an EP. So yeah, it's been a success, the collection so far, which I'm happy about. I can't even remember what we talked about. We're talking about a shit year. So yeah, I didn't even go into like the people who have died. Who did we lose this year? We lost Eddie Van Halen, we lost Lee Kerslake and Ken Hensley, both from Uriah Heep. So you know, I would have liked to have seen Ken Hensley play, amazing musician. And like I said, I'm waffling again. I don't know if I know I covered everything, because I'm trying to think back now. What did I do in the first video that I recorded? Now I'm having to retrack, because this is just unrehearsed, unscripted, and uninterrupted, except for when I had to redo it all because it buggered up halfway through the recording. I didn't realise till I finished waffling on. So I think, without going on too much more, next year I'm going to do it slightly different. I still want you guys to mention in the comments bands you want me to check out, or bands you want me to see me talk about. I won't give a shit review, however, because just because I don't like a band doesn't mean they're shit. That's just my opinion. I don't like them. But so I've been expanding like my taste as well, which is quite good for an autistic nerd. Normally I'm really fussy. But so next year, the plan is I am going to go through my collection alphabetically when I buy stuff, and complete each artist before moving on to the next, or complete it as best I can, because some stuff is near impossible to find. Like Pace Ashton Lord, I paid like €70 to get it from Russia, but for one album. But I will be doing things like that. So yeah, I'm going to do it slightly different in terms of what I collect, but I will try and still have a theme each month, as I've tried to this year, except for the final recap, because I can't really think of too much of Happy New Year. I mean, obviously there's some cool Christmas songs out there. There's the We Wish You a Metal Xmas and a Headbanging New Year, which has got all of the metal, just every rock star, like Dio, Jeff Tate, Lemmy singing Run Run Rudolph is hilarious. I don't know whether he was treating it as a joke. And Alice Cooper singing Santa Claus is coming to town. So yeah, that's a cracking album. And obviously on there is Girl School, who did Old Lang Syne, which is our New Year song. We just get drunk and sing along to that if you're of a drinking age and can remember that's what you sing at New Year. So anyway, yeah, I've waffled enough. Told you what I'm going to do next year. Told you kind of like how the year went in terms of collecting. Oh yeah, there's a neighbour's dog again. I hope she's behaving and not piddling anywhere. So yeah, so be nice to each other, guys. Let me know what you think. Love and sausages. Woof.